Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to our class. This is the introduction to Dynamical System class. I'm Henishan Nafalila, and today I will start actually just with some mechanism of our class, and then we will start today. It is just going to be short of a fun lecture. But I want to make sure that my screen is visible on your screen too, and that my voice is clear. Okay, now I will move on to the overview for today. So, so today I have this overview. So, because this is our first lecture, I will give you something like semester study plan. In Indonesia, this is a rencana pembelajaran semester. So, but in this video, I will not talking detail about this because I have already uploaded this semester study plan in our Google Classroom, so you can check. And but in our live lecture, I will give you the details of semester study plan, something like that. And then we move on to the most important thing, I think. I have a lecture content for you, so maybe you can asking if you're wondering something, you can asking directly, something like that. And the next, I want to explain about prerequisites in our class, and then major topics of our class for a whole semester. And for today, I will give you some introduction about dynamical system. So maybe this is something basic to our next lecture. And then in the end of our class, I will explain about why study dynamical system, why we should study dynamical system, something like that. And now let's just move on. So as I said before, for semester study plan, I will skip in this video so you can check the PDF file in our Google Classroom, and the code of our Google Classroom you can load, something like that. Okay, let me just say a little bit about the course mechanics of the lecture contract. This is a very important thing for our first lecture. So before I want to go to course grading, I want to say that everything about the course materials to be there, to be in the Google Classroom. And I try to make the Google Classroom basically the most accurate source of information. And I also correct typos and things like that, and update information about this class almost in real time. And you can find the our diktat, something like our reference in the Google Classroom. Yeah. And now we have course grading. So this is our course requirements. So because most, I can say that almost all our lecture will be online because now is still the pandemic of COVID-19. So I give you the larger presentation of the questions because before maybe I just give you 10%, but for this semester I will give you 15%. And then for the segment, I'm sorry, I will give you 20%. So the assessment will be going to be on Monday cycle because this is the credit is two, so only one only once a week for the lecture. So I I will try to every week or every lecture will be give you some segment, so you can more active if you have achievements. I believe it. And I'm I'm actually encourage you to do the assignment with a small group, something homework group, something like that. And it is the group will be make sense for all of you. And we move on to the midterm and final exam. So the both of them will be the type of take home exam. So you must do it by yourself. So this is the individual exam, and the rules and the schedule will be announced along with in the Google Classroom. Okay, I think the presentation is clear, but maybe I'm forget something. Any question? If you have any question, you can also notice me in our Google Classroom. So Google Classroom is our search. I can say that this is the most accurate search of information about this class. Okay, now I want to explain about prerequisites in this class. So I suggest you may need to nonlinear differential equation. So if you took the nonlinear differential equation class, you may have seen about the bifurcation, about linearization, and about something like stability, analysis of stability, something like that. So the stability and nonlinear, linear is very basic in Omnify. So if you have took this nonlinear differential equation class, I believe everything will be okay in this class, something like that. Next, we move on to major topics. So this is a very, very simple topics. I break them into three, but in the of dynamical of system dynamics model, we have two types. This is a linear, and the advanced one is the nonlinear model or nonlinear system. And I will, for the begin of class, uh, I will talking much about the linear dynamical systems and behavior. And then for the next, we slow but sure, we want to talking more about the nonlinear system. And the next one, for the system, we need to check the stability. So in the second major topics, we have equilibrium and stability analysis. So this is a very important for dynamical system, something like that. And now in the maybe after midterm exam, I will give you the bifurcation types. So this is a bifurcation analysis actually. So in the bifurcation analysis, you can see about the bifurcation types, something like that. I hope the major topics this is you have imagined about what is our class. So next, this is a flowchart about dynamical systems. So I believe some of you have familiar with this diagram. So dynamical system is broken into two. We have a linear system and nonlinear system. And in each sub-dynamical system, we have a continuous and discrete time. So maybe in lecture 1 and lecture 2, I want to talking more about talking much about the linear system. So maybe we focus in continuous time, but I will mention it a bit about discrete time. So yeah, maybe we can learn or we can study both of them, something like that. And after we have done with linear system, we want to move on to non-linear system, and we want to check the stability, and we can uh, check the analysis stability with bifurcation, something like that. And next, this is maybe some of you wondering why you should uh, study dynamical system. As you know, many applications arise from dynamical system. So Well, it turns out the application they come up in nowadays, it's everywhere, absolutely everywhere. So I mean, short of historically, the first application was in automotive. So in automotive control system. So this one, this is a first application uh, of dynamical systems in the maybe like aircraft, aerospace, and it was aerospace maybe in 1960, so very old, but they would be the first sort of real application, and now at the time it was super advanced technology, very very fancy. And the second one, maybe you have familiar about economics and finance. Economics and finance is totally basic. If you look at the evolution of an economy or something like that, it comes up all the time. In finance as well, most of the models are just dynamical system, actually linear dynamical system, I can say that. And some of the notation will be different, but it's very close to what we will be looking at in this class. And it comes in the third one is mechanical and civil engineering. It comes in mechanical and civil engineering. You see, you see in it things like dynamics of structures and story building system and maybe some yeah many more about that. So and all sort of other stuff. So I believe this is just a little bit about the application in Dynamical system. So you can see more, I believe you can see more about the application, more in field system. Okay, I think this is our last slide. So for today, I hope very clear and see you for next lecture. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.